Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a solo playthrough of Old King's Crown, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Old King's Crown is a competitive game of kind of area domination and card-based combat. It's been really great, one of my favorites recently, especially the solo mode designed by Ricky Royal, who did such a great job on PAX Pamir 2nd Edition and others. Each player is going to have their own deck of these character cards that they're going to use to battle over these regions with other powers and units helping them out. Succeeding in those battles will give them influence coins along with other benefits, and whoever has the most coins at the end of the game, which can be 4 to 6 rounds long, I'm doing a standard 5-round game, whoever has the most influence is the winner. And I'm playing with one of the 4 factions in the game, the clans. They're sort of a seafaring, very mobile faction. And the automa can be customized to a crazy degree. You can use these cards to make it easier or stronger, and the rulebook even includes a bunch of suggestions for like different kind of builds to use with them. But here to keep things simple, I'm just using the basic standard automa. All right, so let's jump in. The first round's going to take a little bit longer as I kind of explain things, because I'm just going to kind of teach as I go. But it should go a lot faster in rounds 2 through 5 once you've seen everything. All right, so first we have the start of the year phase, where players will draw cards simultaneously. Each player starts with an identical 14-card deck, but they have these unique tactics, they have a unique ability if they get the Kingdom's Favor, and they each have a unique set of 5 cards that they can unlock as the game goes along. And at the start of the game, each player's hand size is 6 cards, although that can fluctuate, usually going down as the game goes along. Now, you always start with your leader of the faction, who's this 10 value card. They have a little diamond down here near their name. But I'm getting 5 more random. Oh my gosh, I got all my lowest stuff. Well, that'll be interesting. As for the automa, they never have a deck of cards, but you can see the relative strength of their cards by the gem on the back. When it's fully colored in like this one, that's a gold unit, they're absolute strongest. And you always start with one of those on top of the deck. Kind of like players always start with their leader, they're going to start with at least one strong person. But you'll see there are silver and bronze units as well in their 12-card deck that will be a little bit weaker, so you'll have a sense later on in the game when cards get placed out face down of how strong your opposition is. Okay, and then we would determine turn order. You skip this in the first round, just like you don't need to draw cards because that's part of setup. But at the beginning of the game, I am the second player and the automa is the first player. In future rounds, that's going to change based on who is winning. Whoever has the most of the influence, the victory points, is going to be earlier in the turn order, which you'll see is mostly a negative thing, mostly a drawback. You want to be later to kind of control the situation better. But when necessary, we don't really need it, but they'll use this little active token to show who the active player is. Okay, now we're going to go into the spring when we'll place bids to try to capture these kingdom cards, these really powerful things that'll give you ongoing bonuses. There's a ton of them, but you can always see 4, 3 cards out here, and then the one on top of the deck. All right, so for me, the higher the value of the card you use, the harder it is for somebody to steal the card from you later. Although, interestingly, 3 of these cards are ones where you don't really care who your character is because you're going to discard the card to use its power. So, funnily enough, I think I'm actually going to bid with my 1 because I don't necessarily care which one I win. And when it gets discarded later, I won't need to worry about the relative value of my character because they're kind of like protecting the kingdom card and they're easier to steal from if the value is lower. But I'm not going to care because it's going to be gone. So I would secretly put my card face down, although here it doesn't matter. Now, the automa does not use their cards to bid. They use the same tokens that mark their turn order, one of them at random. So here they have gotten a 6 value. And bidding is resolved in numerical order from top to bottom. So the automa is going to get to pick first. But before they pick what they're going to take, they will reveal the top card of their ambition deck. This is going to determine a lot of the stuff they prioritize for the turn, the type of suit they go for, when they're trying to put people on councils and do other stuff, and also which area of the map they're going to prioritize, which is the Highlands. So you flip it over and get the full information, but you can see on the top of the card like what might be coming. So for this turn, they're going to prefer things that are further right instead of left. You'll always have the little tiebreaker arrow there. And they're going to prefer Highlands, then the Plateau, then the Lowlands, and the book, then the sword, then the coin. So in this case, they're looking for books. There's only one of them, so they're going to take the Courtier's Diary. If there had been more than one of their preferred suit, they would have broken the tie with rightmost in this case. And they're going to put it in the right spot because of their right priority. And the 6 will lock this in to guard it. So if I wanted to steal that card from them in a future round, I would need to have a 7 or higher. And instead of taking a card from the offer, I could take that card from them. Now, after it takes its card, it gets bonuses just based on the suits of the cards. It doesn't actually care about their real effects. So for each coin, they get influence, the victory thing. For each book, in this case, they're going to put tokens on councils, which will be kind of these ongoing bonus powers. And they're also going to get one of these lore tokens, which players use to unlock kind of their upgraded, better cards. They've got 3 random ones from a big set of cards that they can unlock, and they build up lore here. Whenever they get 3 lore, they will take the topmost card, put it on top of their deck, ready to kick your butt with it. They also get to put something on a council, it said. Here, book is their preference, which goes with the Council of Secrets. There's also the Council of Oaths and the Council of Relics. They never put cards in these spots. Instead, they put influence, which kind of counts as cards. But when my chance to put something out here comes around, I'll show you how that actually works. You use like these little hammer icons on your characters to build influence with these councils. And again, they're getting that lore. They're getting this council vote instead of whatever the effect would have been for this card. Because of the book suit, they don't pay attention to anything else. Okay, now I've got 3 options for my little one guy to guard. And I don't care about the suits like the automa does. Instead, I'm looking at the abilities. So when it has a little icon with a leaf symbol in this case, that means it can be used during the autumn, which is after all the combats, all the clashes in the summer. So spring kind of sets up the combats, summer resolves the combats, and then autumn kind of cleans things up. So this one lets me discard a card from a council to increase my hand size by 1, which is pretty dang good because whenever you go through your entire deck, you'll suffer what's called attrition and lower your hand size. So anything that increases your hand size will let you use your cards more effectively, so I like that one a lot. This one is an ongoing power, which is the opposite of what I want when I only have a 1, because they'll steal it so easily. But it says, my faction cards with exactly 1 printed scroll gain +1 scroll. Scrolls are used to build up those lore tokens that they got to eventually unlock my little upgrade cards here, which are super powerful. So that is a good card, but I don't think now is the time for it. And then finally, we got the 1 ring here that Boromir stole. Well, they're calling the Curious Ring. Unexhaust one of your tactics. Follow any setup instructions on it. Discard this card and its occupying card. Tactics are these 4 tiles for each faction that are totally unique. Many of them, the School of Storm, Salt, Toughness, and River Runners, are one-time use in the entire game, but Sea Lanes can be used up to 3 times, and then it gets exhausted. So that card is pretty dang good. It would let me reuse one of my most powerful effects a second time. But I'm honestly loving the Abandoned Estate. Yes, it's expensive because I'm wasting an entire bid on it and then putting out a council member to basically do nothing. But I still like it. So I'm going to take it and I put it under my guy to show that he's guarding it. And it goes in one of my 2 Kingdom card slots. So in the future, if this was still here, another player could try to steal it. They would only need to exceed a 1. But you already know I'm going to use its power this turn to not have to worry about that. After the bidding is all done, if at least 1 card was taken from the offer, then you discard the rightmost card, slide all the rest down, and refill, including flipping 1 on top of the deck. So you have 4 again. But if nobody took anything, if they were just stealing from each other, then this would not happen. And actually, there is a third option for a player. If they don't want any of the cards, they can just return the card that they bid with back to their hand to have more options during the actual clashes and stuff. Okay, now we get into the actual preparation for the clashes. This is super important. So we're going to, in turn order, place out our heralds and our cards. And this is where these regions will come into play. So you saw their card referring to the Highlands, the Plateau, and the Lowlands. And this is actually in order, although these cards will not always be. So the Highlands are at the top, the Plateau's in the middle, the Lowlands are at the bottom. And each one is going to have a single clash every round. So each row is going to have a clash. But the person who wins the clash will get to decide which of the 2 locations they want to activate for a bonus. So that's why you have 2 things per row. And first, the Automa is going to put out their heralds. What does your herald do? Some abilities refer to it, but basically the main thing is it kind of calls your shot. If you win the battle in the region with your herald, then you get a bonus influence for your herald being there in addition to everything else. And if you have another herald in the same place and you win, you get to steal an influence from that player. So it's kind of like calling your shot and also making yourself a bit of a target. And for the Automa, we have perfect information of where they're going from this card they flipped earlier. They're going to go to the Highlands on the right. So they are calling their shot for the wilderness. Oh, shoot. I forgot a super important part of setup, finding out what their principal threat is for the round. So you've got this big deck for the Automa called the Fog deck. At the beginning of every round, they'll flip up a principal threat, which is going to have an ongoing effect on some of the battles this round. For this round, it'll be Show of Strength. After all nighttime effects have been resolved in regions with fog, the Automa will steal 1 influence for each active card it has in the clash whose strength is higher than the highest strength card in the clash. This actually isn't as bad as it could be because I don't have any influence yet, and I can kind of control the order, as you'll see, of when I get influence. So there's a good chance you won't be able to steal anything from me. What this also has is a number of icons here, too. That's how many areas are going to get fog cards. And they're not being prioritized by the ambition card that we already know about. Instead, that priority for where they put fog is going to be determined by a scheme card that will get flipped up, which just tells me the area that they're going to first prioritize for putting out a fog card. In this case, the plateau. But 1/4 of the time, these cards lie. So there's many cards that say plateau and actually prioritize the plateau, but there's some cards that say plateau and you flip it over and it's something else. So that's good to keep in mind that this effect might go somewhere other than where we thought. But now, in addition to putting out their Herald, they're going to put out 3 cards, 1 for each region. And in competitive play, we would be doing this simultaneously. We would all just be putting cards face down. But for the automa, this ambition card priority that we already know about is going to have a major effect. So the highlands is preferred, then plateau, then lowlands. And what they do is they find the top 3 cards of their deck, including the one we knew about. And here we got a little bit lucky, so there's the 1 gold one we knew about, but 2 of the weakest type. And they're going to put their strongest card, in this case the gold, on the highlands, which was their first preference with the ambition card. And then plateau is second, and lowlands is third. Now in this case, those are equal cards, so it doesn't really matter. But if like we had a silver and a bronze, then they would have put the silver in the plateau and the bronze in the lowlands, following the priority order of their ambition card. And because they were first in turn order, I get to see all of this before I put out my cards, whereas again, in competitive, this would all be simultaneous. All right, now I have to put out my Herald, I have to put out my people. So I've got my leader, who's super strong, a 10. These icons affect some different things that happen. Some characters also have abilities down here. All this stuff down here is just flavor text. And then you also have, for some characters, hammers over here. That's for when they go in the councils. And scrolls over here. That's for if you discard them to get those lore tokens. But I've got some really low numbers. Now, I do have this character, Haul Upon the Waves, that has the deploy ability. That means I really don't want to use them in this clash, because instead I can deploy them at the end of the round and basically get a +5 bonus in the next round. All right, so what do I want to do? My 10, I don't want to go head-to-head with their gold, because their gold people can like kill your units and do all kinds of nasty stuff. But I do know the plateau is the most likely place for them to get that annoying fog card ability. So let's put my 10 over here in the plateau. And then I guess I'll use my strongest people, my 4 and my 3. Oh no, that's right, I don't care about the gold. So let's put like my 2 up there. We'll put my 4 down here, save my 5 and my 3, and we're good to go. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I forgot about one of my key powers. I'm actually going to put my 10 up here and my 2 here. You'll see why in a second. Okay, now we get to take spring actions in turn order, so the automa will be first again. And the main thing the automa will do in the spring is put out the fog cards in 2 regions, and they'll get to put out their 3 supporters. So each player starts with 5, the automa starts with 3, although this will fluctuate throughout the game. Supporters go into regions and they add +1 per supporter to the total of the kind of combat in the clash there, so they can help you go over the top to win. And now we get to see what's actually going on with the scheme deck. So it was a lie. Plateau is on the back, but Lowlands was on top. And this is a really... Oh, jeez, this is not going to go well for me. All right, so this card is going to show their priority for their fog cards. They're putting out 2 fog cards. So here, one's going to go in the Lowlands, one's going to go in the Plateau. Whereas if this had been like Plateau Highlands, those would have gotten fog cards. Additionally, this is going to tell them where to put their supporters. If there had been one of these little supporter automa symbols on each spot, they would have divided them up. So first one in the Lowlands, then Plateau, then Highlands, and back and forth until they ran out. But in this case, all 3 of them are going to the Lowlands, which could be trouble for me because that's not where my strongest person is. Oh, I totally forgot to put out my stupid Herald. Well, I wanted to go to the Harvest Field because I want to get this Kingdom's Favor thing. But okay, so they've got fog cards here, and they've got 3 supporters in the Lowlands. Ah, man, that's where my... that's where my 4 is. Okay, so I have a chance, maybe? Okay, now I get to use any of my spring powers. I also have the ability to put out supporters. I have up to 5 of them, but the automa is going to get 3 back for free every round. I'm not getting any back for free. Depending on some councils I go into and some other things, I could get some back, but I'm definitely not going to get a ton. All right, so what do I want to do? This is my 2. They have no supporters there, but their cards could go up to like a 4. I think it might even be a 5. So I'm going to plan to flank my 10 down here. You'll see how I can do that in a second. And maybe put 3 guys here to be able to even like tie a 5. Yeah, I wish I had switched the 4 and the 2 in this case, but I didn't know where they were going to go. Remember, their card said Plateau, so I thought that was going to be fine. All right, so I've got 3 supporters there. I do have this one Tactics School of the Storms that's one use per game that would let me decide where the clashes go and do some other cool stuff. That you really want to use when you are not currently deciding where the clashes are happening, which would mean if I was in the lead, I would want to use it, but I'm not, so I'm going to hang on to it this turn. Okay, now we go to the main event, the clashes. So whoever's last in the order track gets to place the clash markers, which is going to determine what order things happen in, which is super important for what I'm about to do, which is to flank with my 10 and just move them to a totally different fight. So I'm going to make this one first, and then I don't know, this one second because I'm kind of curious myself, and this one third. Okay, now we're going to resolve the clashes one at a time in order. For each one, we will in turn order, Automa and then me, be able to resolve any day actions and then resolve any night effects. And then we tally the strength to see who won, and whoever wins gets to pick one of the two locations and get the benefits for it. All right, so here we go. What have they got? Oh, they've got their ruse. So this is a 3, but it says if this card is active in the current clash, the Automa draws the top 2 cards of its deck face down, plays the highest tier card face down next to this region, the other card's discarded, and if it's tied, they'll choose. So they're basically get another extra person. Well, hey, that's fine. I was going to leave this place anyway, but, you know, hopefully they'll waste a good... Oh, and actually, yeah, they've got a gold on top and a silver. So they're going to put the gold out here and discard the silver. Love that. Oh, and there's an awesome silver for them to discard. The Automa has 1 gold and 1 silver that is a deadly kind of like assassin character that can kill your characters, and really trying to find where they are controls a lot of the strategy sometimes. So having that already be gone is awesome. Now what they just did is an ability called Ambush, and I have cards that can do that too. Importantly, when that happens, the other players have to resolve all of their face-up sun effects before we find out what it is. And I never planned to stay here with my character anyway, because I've got this Sea Lanes ability, has 3 faction markers on it, and it says I can remove a marker from here, choose one of my active Crown, Cup, or Fireball, I think that's what it is, cute characters in the region. That's referring to these types up here, which don't have any inherent effect themselves, but are, as you see here, referred to by other effects. And I'm going to give them the Flank ability for the rest of the round. And this is my only tactic that can be used more than once. I can use it 2 more times. And what does Flank mean? You can probably guess. It means that I get to move this person to another region that hasn't been resolved yet. And yeah, we know we're going here, because with those 3 supporters and their card, I don't think my little 4... Well, I mean, yeah, no, they definitely wouldn't win otherwise. Hopefully my 10 is safe. And now they're already winning, but let's see how much... Oh my gosh! Okay, for better or worse, they don't have any more assassins. I can deal with that. Now, the cool thing is I now know exactly what their last gold is going to be, well, until they recruit more units, which they might do immediately. Because they have 1 gold that's a ruse, 1 gold that's a poppet, deadly person, and 1 gold that's a 10 just like mine. So, cool. Okay, so now we've resolved all the sun abilities. Now we do any night effects. These are simultaneous. Deadly means that every opponent's cards would be killed, but there are icons that help with this. People who have the helmet, instead of being killed, which means they're actually going to this lost area and are lost entirely unless an effect brings them back. If they have the helmet, instead of being killed, eliminated, they just go to the discard pile. And a lot of the Automa cards have this shield, which means they are immune to being eliminated entirely. But here, Deadly doesn't do anything because we already ran away. But they have an 8 total and I have a 0 total, so they win, which means they get the wilderness bonus, but it's a little different for the Automa. Oh man, this sucks. They get 1 influence and 2 lore. And they already had 1 lore. Whenever they get 3 lore, they immediately buy their topmost card, which is always gold, and it goes right to the top of their deck. So I said I know what their next gold is going to be. There's like 4 possibilities for the Automa, and they're all nasty. And they get 1 influence, but because they won where their herald is located, they get another influence. And if my herald had also been here, they would have stolen 1 influence from me if that was possible. I don't have any yet. But okay, that was clash number 1. And kind of a more eventful one than usual. All right, I don't know what's going to happen here. I've got 2 + 3, 5. Oh, Jesus, this is their... This is the worst card I could have gotten. It's their other ruse, a bronze ruse. Which means they're going to draw their top 2 cards, and they're going to put out the gold that they just got. And discard, oh, really good silver, an 8. I don't mind that going away. But yeah, clearly I'm not going to be able to win here anymore. What? Oh my gosh, it's just a giant guy. A 13. Okay. So they've got 14. There's no powers I can use here that'll help me, by the way. Now, I don't think I would have won. Would I have? 2 + 10 + 3, 15. Oh man, I would have won if I'd set my leader here. Well, too bad. Now what sucks is this is where I put my herald, and maybe I shouldn't have, whatever. But they're going to take the rightmost thing. Oh, crud, what was their show of strength thing? Oh, they would steal influence for each active card that's stronger than mine. So here, 13 stronger than 2, so they would have stolen one, but I don't have any yet. And thank God I don't. So they're going to do the battlefield, which just gives them 2 influence. They're at 4-2-0. Doing great, Mike. But at least we've seen almost all of their best cards, so at least that's good. All right, and finally we go to the Shrine and Necropolis. We've got 14. They've got, ooh, this is actually their best bronze besides the Ruse. So they got a lot of good cards, so weaker cards are coming at least. So they went all the way up to 8. And this Armature's Guide does have a power that'll be used during the autumn, but we don't have to worry about that yet. So we have one pretty easily here. And the Necropolis wouldn't help us at all right now because it lets us do stuff with our discard pile, because we don't have anything in our discard pile yet. But I can use the Shrine to move up to 3 of my cards that are active. That means face up in any of the regions, to the bottom of my deck in any order. So my 10, I'm going to do something else with. I'm going to use its Rally effect in a second. But yeah, the 4 and the 2, not my best. But hey, putting them on the bottom of my deck just means that I will have to reshuffle and lower my max hand size later. So I don't mind doing that. And I get 1 influence. Yay! 1 against 4. This is awesome. Okay, now we go to the autumn, and we're going to perform autumn powers. And again, in turn order, so the automa will be first. We're going to be able to govern, journey, and do autumn abilities in any order. Governing means taking one of the cards from our hand that has at least 1 hammer and putting it on one of these areas to get the bonuses from the councils. You can do that once per round. Journeying means getting rid of 1 card per round from your hand that has lore icons to get lore tokens to unlock your better cards. And usually when you do that, cards are entirely lost, just gone forever, unless they have this little map icon, in which case they're discarded instead of lost when you journey with them. So the Automa does their own version of that. They get a lore token for free, so they just always build up towards getting their cards unlocked. And they never have to use any cards. The only thing they use cards for is clashes. They also get to go on 1 council for free, and for this they go back to their ambition from the previous thing, so they're going a second person onto the Council of Secrets. Then they get to resolve their autumn abilities in any order you want. So for Council of Secrets, they get to place faction markers on locations equal to the number of influence or whatever it is they have here, which is 2 in their case. And once they build up to 4 or more on a location, they get to resolve that location's power. Now, when a player does that, they only get the non-influence part of the power. Like I would get the Kingdom's Favor, or I would get to govern with 1 card, journey with 1 card. For the Automa, they get everything. So like even the battlefield, they would get 2 influence. Now, where do they put these markers? If they already have markers out, they keep adding markers to the same place until they get to 4. They want to build to that threshold. But if they don't have any markers out yet, they go wherever their herald is. All right, so they have 2 out of 4 tokens to get another free influence and 2 more free lore tokens to unlock awesome cards for them again. Don't like any of that. And they also resolve any of their autumn abilities. So this guy's ability is basically the same as mine, except a little bit better, because this deploy ability that I'm about to use lets you put out a card during the autumn. And the number here is how many tokens get put on it, which basically means how many rounds it gets to stay around. So instead of removing the card in winter in a second, when we discard all our cards, this card is going to stay. So I'll have like a bonus 5 in 1 region next round. And they're doing the same thing. It says if this card is the only active Automa card in its region, which it is, move it to the region matching the current ambition and place an influence on it. So that same Highlands that they've been doing so much stuff on, they're going to go up here and lock themselves in for a +5 bonus next round. So that's it for their autumn. Now for me, I've got my own powers. The Rally Self one lets me bring this card back to my hand. So I can keep on theoretically using my 10 over and over as long as it doesn't get assassinated. Although unfortunately, to benefit from the Kingdom card I got, I'm going to have to use it for a different thing, which is not great. Wish my original hand draw had been better. I'm also going to use the Haul Upon the Waves. Now, do I want to match their 5 guy? Sure, why give them free power? We'll go ahead and do the same guy there. All right, then for the council thing, I'm going to go ahead and go... None of these are really helpful to me. If I'm going to be discarding it in a second, I guess the only one that kind of helps me out is Council of Secrets. Oh, no, Council of O's will actually help. Never mind. So I'm going to go here with their 1 hammer. And then I'll go ahead and trash Priestess of the Peaks forever to get 1 lore token, since she didn't have the little map icon to hang around. Now, I do have 3 solid cards that all cost 2 lore tokens, so I'm almost there. And whenever you gain lore tokens, you can buy stuff immediately if you have enough lore. So if I can find a way to get more, then that'll be great. All right, now I'm going to use the Council of O's ability, which is also an autumn ability. Okay, I just looked it up. The hammers are votes. Okay, so for each vote I have here, I can move 1 supporter from the map or the lost pile to my player board, because all my units that are on the board are about to die and go to the lost pile, and it'll be hard to get them back. And then, ooh, this is actually nice. If you have the most votes here, you may move an additional supporter, which I do. So I'm going to bring back 2 of these dudes and only have 1 go to the lost pile. It's not too bad. But why did I put my guy in there? Because I wanted to use the Abandoned Estate. So it says, discard 1 of your cards from a council to increase your hand size by 1. So blip. And then, now this is interesting. It says discard this card. Usually these ones that discard things also have you discard the card guarding them. Like, look, this one says discard this card and its occupying card. This one doesn't say this. So whenever somebody who's guarding a kingdom card stops guarding it, usually they go to your hand. So I guess I'll say this one comes back to my hand. But I don't want it in my hand. So you know what? Let's reverse what I did a little earlier and say that I did that effect to get it back to my hand first. And then I'll trash him to get the lore permanently and keep my 3 in my hand. She's a little bit better. But I do discard him, which sucks because it'll be a while to get him back. But cool. I guess that was good. I have a higher hand limit. We'll see what happens. Okay, now finally we go to the winter where things die. So the automa gets back its herald. It gets back 3 supporters. If it had more out, then they would go to the lost pile if some other effect had given them extras. All of its active cards get discarded, except for the armatures, which just discard the influence tokens, so they'll stay around, just like my guys. And the fog cards they put out, as well as their threat card, all get shuffled together to the bottom of the deck, although I don't think the game will be long enough to get back to those. And their ambition and scheme card go to the bottoms of their deck, because I know the game definitely won't wrap back around to those. The game can go a max of 6 rounds. We're only doing 5, and there's way more than 6 cards here. And there we go. They're ready for the next round with their commanding 4-point lead. I also pull back my Herald. Any remaining supporters go to the lost pile, so I'll have to get some effect to bring them back. My character also sticks around because of the influence on him. And we go to round 2. Oh, and put the clash tokens back. And that's 1/5 of the game. So like I said, things should go a lot faster now that you kind of know how it works. Let's see if we can do better round 2 and actually win more regions. All right, so we're going to do the start of the year. They're going to reveal their threat card, which in this case, is going to put out a fog everywhere. And each time the automa wins a clash in a region with fog, it gets an extra influence. So a pretty straightforward effect, but not one that I like. And I still have my wimpy little 3 from last turn, but now my max hand size is 7, so let's draw 6 more. Okay, and here's some of my better people. So here's my version of those ruse cards. It is also a ruse. So it's got a 0, unlike their 3s and 1s, but it's got the ambush effect where I can put another character down, or it's got the retreat effect where I can pull everybody up after I see what they've got. I've got a 7, the branded seer, that can also go into councils, or without getting trash forever, get me lore tokens. I've got a 9 that can do the same thing. And these goblet people can also benefit from my tactic that lets me give people flanking. I've got a 5 that starts with flanking automatically. Got another 6. Okay, so yeah, nothing like amazing. Oh, and I forgot about this person. The Purser is pretty awesome. So they've got the Rally any 2 ability, so they can bring back in the autumn after the clashes are done any 2 of my active cards, which could include themselves but doesn't have to. So I can get back some of my best people. Not a bad idea. Okay, now we determine turn order. They're at 4, I'm at 1, so they are still in first. Good for them. Okay, now we're going to do bids. Let's see. Choose one of my active cards in the current clash. It gains ambush until the end of the clash. That's pretty awesome. So that would let me play a bunch of extra cards, which with my higher hand size is pretty great. Your cards with deploy, gain, deploy 1 in the spring. Oh, and then in the autumn, place 1 coin on one of your active cards with deploy, so you just get to keep on using it. Oh, that's good. How about this? Prototype Simulacra. Once per round, you may activate an opponent's kingdom's favor during its associated step. If the chosen opponent currently has the favor, do not rotate it. Well, they don't have it yet, so it doesn't really matter. Then your faction cards with 1 printed scroll gain plus 1. That was 1 from last time, which is also pretty good. Well, let's see. I think this round I'm probably going to play go a little strong and play my 9-7-5 and then flank with the 5. So let's put out my 6 to have a somewhat strong thing. It's a little bit hard for them to outbid. Well, theoretically. Oh, they got a 9, so that's definitely strong. What's their ambition this round? Coins, then swords, then books with a right preference. And, oh, there's a coin. So they're taking the Endless Library. And they only have 1 spot, so there it goes. And each coin card just gives them an influence. Easy peasy. So they're up to 5 now. That's what the big ones mean. And then their book is going to give them 1 influence here, remember, and 1 lore token. Gosh, they're getting lore so quickly. All right, and I think I'm going to grab the Engineer's Workshop. I don't have anybody to deploy right now during the spring, but it means this dude's going to stay around forever, or at least for a while. Plus 5 combat every turn is pretty dang good. All right, so this one goes away, and we get 4 new options, or 3 new options, I should say. All right, now they're going to put out their Herald and place cards. So preference this round is Lowlands, Plateau, and then Highlands last. Interesting. So where they have the 5, they're going to have the weakest supporter. And yeah, we knew that they were down to some cruddy cards. They've got a silver and 2 bronzes. So the silver will go to the Lowlands and bronze there. All right, so they probably have... Their 5 was the best bronze. I think their other ones are 3 or 4 value. Well, the big one, let's put my 9 here. I bet that can beat their silver because I think the highest those go is 8 or 7. And we already saw one of the 8. And we can put my flanker 5 here. They might just be able to beat it straight up, but if not, they can run somewhere else. And then, what should I put? Maybe I'll put the 7 here. Nah, 5 here and 7 with the 5 here. Should be able to beat them pretty easily then. Oh, and they put their herald, yeah, right as their preference. You know what? I'm doing it too, because I want to steal a victory point from them. And I think I should be able to win, right? Get a 9 here. Ooh, but they're going to put out their troops in the lowlands, probably. We'll see how it goes. Remember, they're putting fog everywhere, and I kind of want to try to win all 3 regions. If that's possible, we'll see what happens. Well, it's time to find out. It was a lie again. They're putting everybody in the highlands? That's actually kind of great, right? Because, yeah, I have 12 in the highlands. There is well, I guess with 3 guys, they might get to 12. But that's it for their spring. Do I want to put more people out? Yeah, I mean, what are they probably going to have? 5, 8, maybe a 4, 15. So I would need like 2 or 3 more people. Let's do 2 here. And then I don't think they can beat me in any of these. I don't think they have higher than a 5 left. I don't think they have higher than a 9 left. I think I'm okay everywhere else. So I'm just going to put out those 2. Oops, I forgot. They have a fog in every region. All right, and clash time. I don't care a lot. Well, I guess I want to know how this one goes. But first, I definitely want to be my flanking person so that if there's like some kind of catastrophe and I totally miscalculate, I can at least send them somewhere useful. When actually, this is a cup and this is a cup, so I could send any of them somewhere else with the sea lanes power. But I'm hoping I skunk them in all 3 regions this round, and I don't need to. Actually, you know what? I have a reason. Let's do that, because I forgot that if I win here, I can take the Prophet of the Waves, the Kingdom's Favor. You'll see how that works. It's super awesome. Okay, so let's see if I calculated right. Okay, good. Only a 3, 5. I easily win. Although I can't flank them away, I would no longer be winning. Cool. So they don't win with the fog card. That's great. And yes, I will do the harvest field to get the kingdom's favor. Let me show you how cool this is. Oh, and I also get 1 influence, so I'm at 2. So whenever you get the kingdom's favor, it starts out on the 3, which means you can use it up to 3 times. Although if somebody else goes to the harvest field and steals it, you won't get to use it that many times. And it's different for every faction. For me, it says move your herald to a location in the current region. Move up to 2 supporters from other regions to the current region. So it lets me kind of consolidate my people, get more use out of my herald for bonus victory points. Love all of that. Which is why I wanted to switch it to resolve number 2 next, because if I win here, I can also move my herald to 3 for bonus victory points. All right, so... Oh, it's their deploying person, so it's only a 5, so I will win it, but they're going to stick around. That's annoying. All right, so 9 versus 5, easy win. And I could pick the shrine if I was dumb, but clearly I'm going to go to the herald to get the bonus from that. So I'm gaining 2 influence, 1 from the location, 1 from my herald, and then I'm stealing 1 from them. Hey, so guess what? How the fortunes have changed. I'm at 5, they're at 4. And then I shuffle my discard pile and draw up to 3 cards. Hey, guess what my entire discard pile is right now? This guy! Yay! Got my 10 back. I had another way to do that, by the way, but it's cool to get him back so easily. All right, and last one. Oh, wait. No, I don't have to use the thing yet. Okay, good. I think I'm good, right? 8, 11 versus 12, 14. Wait, what was that word they had? The highest I could have been was a 4. Why did I move so much up? So the highest they could have been would have been a 12, which means that's, yeah, okay. So I kind of overspent my troops for no good reason. But it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I did beat him in all 3 places. That's pretty awesome. And which one am I going to? Oh, well, so hold on. I'm going to use one of my ticks of Prophet of the Waves. Hey, my herald's here. And I want to go to the castle, I think. So I'm going to get 2 influence. I'm at 7 versus 4 now. Loving that. And now I get to govern with 1 card that is active or in my hand. I forgot it could be active. If you do, discard all other cards of the chosen council. So I get to kick them out. By the way, the Council of Relics, which we haven't seen yet, basically when you win something with your Herald, you can discard cards there to get bonus victory points. So it's kind of like banking influence. But sure, let's put my weakest person, the 5, although they are a flanker. But, you know, I can give all my cup people flanking, theoretically. Oh, wait, it could be in my hand. Is there somebody in my hand I want to do instead? Ooh, the Purser could go. But I get the... No, I'll go ahead and do the person I said. Yeah, so the 5 is going to go to the Council of Seers, and I get to kick out both of their tokens as well, bonus, so they won't get to put down their tokens to trigger the Wilderness a second time. I like that. So that was the castle, but wow, I'm in the lead! Yay! But the turn order doesn't change until the next round. So we go into the autumn. So they're going to govern, and their preference is coins. They're going to put another one here. Now, them stacking a ton of influence here is kind of dangerous because how it works for them is, whereas I just have to discard my cards, they get this number of extra influence and then take a single one away. So right now they would get 2 influence, and then next time their herald, next time they won where their herald was, they would get 1. And there's 3 rounds left. They're going to win some regions with their herald. I can't lock them out entirely. Oh, and crud, they get another lore, which means that they have unlocked their second of 3 cards. So now they've got a gold on top of their silver. Next round's going to be fun. All right, now this armature is going to get discarded. Their ability doesn't trigger because they're not the only card there. But this bad boy is going to come right back and make the lowlands nasty. Okay, and that's it for their autumn. Now for me, I think I'm going to do some more stuff. Well, first I do get to put a coin on my deploy guys, so they'll stick around. My little 5 up here. I think I want to put my purser out here as my one free one. Because now I'll get all of my supporters back. 2 from her plus 1 more, so I'll get the guy who's in the lost area back. I think I'll permanently trash the Priestess of the Peaks. She's only a 3 to get another lore, which gives me 2. So you've got these cards that are like kind of permanent ongoing bonuses. This one would let my purser gain flank. Whenever any of my cards are removed from a council, I can move them to my hand instead of the discard. And this one lets me move any number of my active cards with flank into a council. Then this one's really awesome. All my supporters without a helmet gain a helmet so that they can't be assassinated as easily. And in the spring, I can move 2 of my supporters from the lost pile to a region. So it's like 2 free supporter retrieval every turn. But this guy, I kind of want to get him. Look at him, the storyteller. He's 2 lore if I want to use him for that. When he's used to steal a kingdom card, the occupying card is treated as if its strength is 0, so nobody can stop me. But he's also just a freaking 11 that is protected, kind of like my leader. Yeah, I want to get him. Let's not get the ongoing things. There's also a 3 and a 5, by the way, but they cost a lot. He goes straight into my hand, which is looking pretty. Wait, how did I get them into my hand? Oh, that's right, from the Necropolis ability. All right, so I journeyed, I did this. I think I'm kind of feeling a little greedy here. So I'm going to use, I'm going to use River Runners. Move an occupied kingdom card to your player board and occupy with a card from your hand. So that's once per game. I'm going to occupy with my Ruse because I don't know if I need it. I'm going to have some great cards in my hand. I'll let them keep getting 1 coin every turn, but let's steal the Courtier's Diary, because then I can immediately move one of my active cards into a council and discard any number of cards in that council and then discard this card. So it's kind of like using the castle again. Now it has to be an active card, so I guess I'll send my 7 over to here. So I have every council locked in right now, and I trash both of theirs, so haha, no free influence for you. Now I discard the Courtier's Diary, but again, weirdly, it doesn't say I discard this, so I guess that I keep that, and I have 3 cards now. Cool. By the way, the only autumn tactic I still haven't used is Salt Toughness. I can choose any number of my faction cards that are active and or in my discard pile, move them to my hand or to my hand side. I'm planning to do that next turn after I play a ton of awesome people, to maybe delay going through my deck and lowering my hand size 1 more round, and also just to bring back my best people. All right, so I haven't done any of these, though, so I can put 1 faction marker out. I can bring back supporters, and this isn't going to do anything until my Herald does its thing. I'll put my single faction marker on the harvest field. I got to get to 4, so unless I really pump up that council, it's probably not going to happen. And then I can bring up to 3 supporters, so I'll get the 2 from the map and 1 from my lost pile. So yeah, I'm not losing any this turn. Awesome. And we go to the winter. So they're keeping this guy, but everyone else is going away. I'm only discarding my 9, but I'll try to bring them back with that Salt Toughness card next round. All right, I took care of everything else, so we're into round 3. All right, so I'm going to draw cards, and this is nice. I had exactly 4 cards left in my deck, so I don't have to reshuffle it yet and suffer attrition, which means I can still use my Salt Toughness to try to get a bunch of people back and like get a whole nother turn before I attrition out. All right, and what's their fog nastiness this turn? Overrun. Player cards and regions with fog treat their... Actually, this is totally fine. Treat their shields and helmets as blank. But both of their assassins are already out, although I do think there are 2 copies of this is the new gold card they recruited with their lore tokens. There are 2 of those lore tokens that have the deadly ability, so there is a small chance that this person on top will have deadly, and that will matter, but otherwise that might not be too bad. By the way, if they had the Kingdom's Favor, they would tick it down once each round to put a second card face up as a threat. Only the principal threat determines how many places get fog cards, but the secondary threat adds a second ability, so they make them really nasty. And hey, this is different. Usually I'm not in the lead in this game. I am first this round. Uh-oh. All right, we're going to do our bidding, and I do have room for a card. Now, I don't want to fight with. I've got my killer. I can put that against their gold and maybe kill somebody really strong. That'd be great. Yeah, I think I'll probably play that on their gold. And then I could play like my Ruse out. and then decide if I want like my 10 or my 8. My 11's actually great for discarding to get a bunch more lore, because look, they get a 2 and then they stick around. Huh. But anyway, do I care about any of these? That Swan Song horn is still awesome, because I could ambush a ton and then use Salt Toughness to bring like all my active people back to my hand, and they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Okay. I knew there was a rule and I couldn't find it, but I just located it. They did clarify you can only use a given action once per round, so I can't Swan Song horn every single clash, which seemed kind of dumb. Alright, so what's this? Discard your bidding card, place this card in a region. Treat any printed information on opponent's cards in this region as blank, except for their strength and archetype. Oh, so it would take away like their icons and stuff? Ooh, that would actually be kind of awesome for their new recruited gold card if I assassinate it and like take away its entire ability to defend, because pretty much literally every automa card pretty much has at least a helmet, so they won't die, they'll just get discarded. But I could like just trash one of their best cards. 10 crowns gives more votes to units that I don't have on council, so no. And Ruined Citadel, discard your bidding card. Place this card on a region, all opponents' total strength. Oh, by the way, they want plateaus this round, and swords. So I kind of want to get that horn. Or no, I kind of want the Poisoner's Ball. Yeah, and with swords on either side, I should be able to get that no matter what. So, let's actually bid with the ruse then, because who cares? What are they getting? A 10, geez. But now they reveal, because they might rob me. They didn't. Some of these ambition cards at the bottom will say if they will rob you or not. So here, like with a 10, they would have been higher than my 6 that's currently holding a kingdom card. But here it's not going to happen because they didn't have that, so that's nice of them. All right, so they go first, and they'll take the Swan Song horn. So they get 1 free influence from the coin, and every sword gives them an extra supporter, so they'll be able to put out 4 this round. But hey, all according to plan, I don't know where their gold's going to go. No, I do know where the gold's going to go. They're going to put it on the plateau. So yeah, discard my bidding card, so that's discarded. Place this card on a region. So yeah, guess what? Your gold is coming here, and I'm going to try to murder them. I don't care who they are. They're going to die, man. Okay, now this is different. I got to place my cards before I see how strong theirs are. But yeah, this one at least is obvious, right? I'm going to put out my killer. Hope they put some like amazing gold person and just murderify them completely. Then I'm going to get everybody back anyway, right? Ooh, Lowland is their least preferred this round. Highlands is getting their second card. So there's a good chance this might be one of their remaining bronze. So like even a 5 and a 4... should I do my 11? My 11 can probably beat. Or let's try a 10. I can put some troops out to help out, because I kind of want my 11 to do the 2 lore token thing, right? So yeah, then let's put the 8 with the 5. I mean, that should dominate, even though their second strongest card is going to go there. Oh, and crud, I gotta put out my units too. So they're probably gonna do the plateau, but I don't know if it's gonna be 4 units there by themselves, or, 2 there and then 1 in each other place. Now I'm probably gonna get 3 units back, and I might actually buy that upgrade that lets me get 2 more units back. So what if I put out all 5 and just go a little crazy here? Ooh, and I could even use my School of the Storms. When a region is resolved, before resolving, I'll get to put the clashes down. Before resolving rewards, gain 1 if you have the most supporters in that region, and 1 lore if you have the most active cards in that region. That could be wild this turn, because I'm going to have 2 guys out from this, which would give me 1 lore if they don't get murdered. And ooh, if this person does successfully murder with my Poisoner's Ball, yeah, we could be good. We could be good. So let's do like 2 here and 2 here, and hope that the Poisoner is enough by themselves, which I think they will be. And then I should be able to get extra influence from School of Storms and some extra lore. It should be great. It should be great. But now, are they lying? Okay, good. It's actually the plateau, and they're spread out, which is probably good. Probably good for me. Oh, wait a sec. I'm sorry. I forgot to do their herald and everything. So they're going on the plateau to the right. Oh, where'd I put my herald? Oh, I think I'm gonna win here. Well, I can use Prophet of the Waves to move afterwards. So let's instead call my shot for the castle. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to do that. Okay, so now they're putting out their people before I reveal the card, although not that really matters. And okay, it's gold, silver, bronze. Gold goes to the plateau as planned. Silver goes to the Highlands, but I mean, I've got a big advantage there. And the bronze is backing up the 5. That works out perfectly, actually. Yeah, sorry, I knew that. I don't know why I was confusing which card is used for what. But now I look at this one, and they're going to put 2 units in the plateau, 1 in the Highlands, 1 in the Lowlands. And plateau and Highlands. Oh, that's right. No, they hopefully don't have murderers. Oh, they might murder me here because they're ignoring my protection, but hey, so it goes. Oh, and I do have to declare that I'm using School of the Storms in this spring phase. Hopefully it works out. All right, so normally they get to put the clash markers, but I will. And what do I want to do? I want to do the place with my Herald before I do the place with their guy. Actually, the castle lets me govern with an active card. So let's make that second, make this third. And then we'll do the Lowlands first, sure. And again, I only got to decide that because of the School of Storms. If, by the way, they had gotten to put out the tokens, they would have done them with the revealed scheme card. So Plateau would have been first, in this case, Highlands, then Lowlands. All right, I'm feeling kind of good. They've only got 8. I knew they would probably be low. I got 10. Oh, I got 12. Why did I want to do that? Oh, right. I want to do that because of the School of the Storms ability. Oh, no, sorry. They've got 9 and I've got 12. All right, so when a region is resolved, if I have the most supporters in that region, which I do, I'm going to gain an extra influence. I do not have more active cards in that region, so I'm not going to get a lore. Now, I don't really care about either of these because I guess I'll go and use the Necropolis to get these cards back to my hand, just so I have more kind of options for what I want to do. Again, the big thing is I want to try to somehow have 7 cards left. I don't know if that's going to happen with how many things I want to do, but we'll see if we can do it. All right, and I'm getting 2 influence, 1 from the Necropolis and 1 from the School of the Storms. All right, we'll save the suspense for the end. It's an 8, 9 versus 15. Wow. And this means I ignore my defenses, but they're not attacking. So now we just got to worry about that gold card. But yeah, clearly I'm going to do the castle, so I get an extra thing. So that's 2. So I went to 11 influence. Man, this is so much better than I did last time. In the last game I played with this faction, I was losing until the final turn, and I had a crazy thing. But I realize now I cheated, so I would have lost, I think, 19 to 21 in the last game. But here I'm definitely ahead. Okay, I get to govern with 1 card that is active or in my hand. If I do, discard all the cards of the chosen council. Oh, wait, I forgot. I get Herald rewards before location rewards. So I'm going to discard this guy to get 1 more influence. And that puts him in the discard pile where I can grab him with Salt Toughness. And that way when I use the castle, I don't have to discard my own people. So I can go to the Council of Relics with the 9. And then I'll hopefully win the next battlefield and be able to discard them and be able to grab them back. That would be so good. All right, there's a big one, y'all. I mean, I don't know. I think no matter what they're dead, I'm not sure what they could do to me as well. Because they have more units than I do. So if they get their own poisoner, ooh. Oh, this is so good. This is like the best. Look, they had a 13 monster who would have been protected. So actually, I would have discarded them and would have won the battle anyway. But now with this, they are straight up murdered. But first, I am going to use my once per round Prophet of the Waves to slide on down. I could refresh my Kingdom's Favor or just get more influence. Well, I mean, I've still got it for 1 more use. Let's go here. Oh, crap. Is that where they're? Ha ha ha. Hi, you're Herald. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I actually feel bad. I'm doing so much better this game. But like I said, there are so many ways to improve the automa and make them stronger if you want to. Like, it's absolutely insane. And I'm just getting kind of lucky because this guy could have been a murderer that would have killed my unit back, and then I wouldn't have won this battle at all. Oh, shoot, I forgot School of the Storms. I had more units here and more active cards, which means I get a lore and an influence. Now, sadly, my Prophet of the Waves lets me bring 2 troops here. If I had been smarter and put out my 5th unit, then I could have brought them down and gotten 1 more bonus here. But I am still going to get the lore. Yeah, because look, nighttime, bye, dead forever. Go to the lost pile with my 1 and my 3, which means I'm winning 5-2. So now School of Storms triggers because I have more active cards, 1 versus 0, and I get a 2nd lore. And I think I am going to get this one, that all my cards without helmet gain helmet, and next spring I can get 2 supporters back from the lost pile, which means I should be able to get like all my supporters back until they kick me out of that 1 council. But then I'm also getting, oh my gosh, 2 influence, 3 for my Herald, stealing 1 from them. Then I'm going to discard them to get 1 more. Yeah, definitely I'm getting better with this faction. That's 17, yeah, 18 for me versus 4 for them. I've tried to rob them. And I'm sure things will not go so well once they reshuffle and get all their golds back. And actually, oh, funny enough, their 10 that we knew about is right on top of their deck. So, and it's the only card left before they reshuffle. So I guess we know what that'll be. All right, so I'm doing this first. I can govern once, I can journey once, and I can do autumn actions. So the journeying is obvious. I'm going to discard the storyteller. He gets discarded instead of trash forever for 2. Because I'm going to get him right back with Salt Toughness in a second. Now for 2, I don't really love Wandering Embassy that much. I think I'm going to save up for my 2 super units and try to get 1 of them next round. All right, now before I send somebody to a council, I am going to use Salt Toughness now. So choose any number of your faction cards that are active or in your discard pile, move them to your hand up to your hand size. Oh, here, well, I can cheat things some because look, I've got my rally person here. So I'll grab everybody else except the deploy person because I still want them to come out. So this is my discard pile. So that's 5. Oh, that's too many. Crap, I can't grab everybody. Where I'll leave the 7 in the discard. And then I think I might actually do my assassin for my council because look, they've got 2. So I can go boom to here and be able to put 3 tokens out. And I can still get 2 plus 1 for having the max 3 of my supporters back. And then at least for now, with my New Haven's Harbor, with getting me 2 more back in the spring, I'm going to be able to use all 5 of my supporters every round. That is crazy. But now I'm down to 6 cards, so I would have to draw and reshuffle and have attrition. But I'm going to use Rally to get my leader back to finish out the round. And man, look how solid my card values are for next round. This is going to be crazy. Oh, and can't forget, I got a boop with my Engineer's Workshop, put out a coin to keep them for next round. Now, as for the Simulacrum, by the way, I've been calling it Automa, but that's their name for it. They're going to get 1 coin on sword, their preference, which means they pull back an extra supporter, so they'll have 4 next round, and actually 5 if they still have their 1 sword kingdom card, so they can get up to a ton of supporters. And they'll also get 1 out of 3 lore to get their 3rd and final card. And then we go to the winter and the final 2 rounds. So they're losing their 5 guy, but mine's still hanging out, haha, because they're not alone this time. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, I forgot to put out my 3 tokens. So I could finish off Harvest Field and get the Kingdom's Favor, but honestly, let's get that ready to pop, because I still have 1 more use of the favor, and get the Necropolis started. So as long as I don't use the castle to trash the Council of Secrets people, the next round, I can finish that off to refresh the Kingdom's Favor, even if they've taken it, which would be awesome. And then, start working on the Necropolis. All right, we're in round 4. I'm in a commanding lead, but I have used every single one of my tactics, every single one of my super abilities, except for 2 uses of Sea Lane. So I have a really strong hand for this round, though, so I feel pretty good. But they're also about to shuffle all their cards back in, so Assassins are back on the table. Lots of fun stuff could be coming. Okay, drawing cards. I don't have to. I'm at 7. And what do they got? They're only doing 1 fog. Oh, but each time the Automa wins in a clash in a region with fog, it gains 3 influence and 3 lore. I don't like that. But lucky for me, I do know that I know the exact person they're putting, and it's going to be in the Highlands with my 5 guys still helping. I should be able to beat them there. They've also got a potential mismatch here. Their agenda says Highlands, but their scheme says Lowlands, so they won't put all their troops in the same place with their best units, theoretically. All right, turn order is still me, of course. Back to bidding. Do I want to steal any of theirs? There's a decent chance they'll rob me. Now, the Endless Library's a little bit late. The Swan Song Horn is pretty nice, though. But what do I want to use? I want to keep my 10 and my 11 to just murder people, right? I could use, the 8 and attack with 9, 10, 11. Oh, actually, I really like this one. Monument Builders. Gain 1 influence if you have a card in any council. If you have a card in each council, which I'm only 1 away from, you may discard this card to gain an additional 2 influence. So sure, I don't know. Let's, bid with a 4, and then just hope that I get to discard it before they steal it. And they're bidding. Oh, wow. They're actually lower than me for once. Okay, and Highlands. They still haven't gotten a steal card. Interesting. Highlands, Lowlands, Plateau. And they prefer books, which there aren't any, and then coins. So I'm going to take Monument Builders, and then they're going to take Midnight Court. And here they prioritize left. So they're actually going to discard the 9 and this coin to replace it with a 2 and that coin. Not the wisest tactical move, but so it goes. Then they're getting another unit. So I think they have 5 now. Another supporter, and they're getting another influence. All right, I'm first to place heralds and cards again. All right, so they're putting a 10 in the Highlands, and then something else, which could be nasty in the Lowlands or Plateau. So let's hear it. Let's put a 8 with my 5. It's a 13, even if they put a ton of supporters there. I should be able to win pretty easily. And then what is it? Lowlands and then Plateau. So let's put my 11 in the Lowlands and then my 10 in the Plateau. Both have helmets in case they happen to reshuffle and get their assassins back. I mean, I won't be able to kill them and I'll still lose because I'll get discarded, but at least we'll be okay. Never took off my herald. So they're going to go to the castle. Yeah, I mean, let's just let's meet them there and rob them again because their herald's going there. We know that. And here's their 10. What else are they getting? Silver and a gold. That could be nasty. That could be anything. So the silver could be an assassin. The gold could be an assassin or the ruse person. I mean, it could be lots of stuff, so I'm just not going to worry about it right now. I've got the ability to flank some of my people. If really nasty stuff happens, we'll deal. All right, now I got to do my spring step before I see where their troops are going. Their card says Lowlands. Might be a lie, but I will gain a coin if I have a card in any council. I don't have every one for the bonus yet. And I can use this to move it to 2 supporters from the lost pile. I have 1 to a region, and then I should be able to put out all the rest, right? So where do I want to put my 5? I mean, definitely at least a couple in the Lowlands if they actually go there. I don't think their silver is going to beat my 10. I mean, again, unless it's their assassin, and then there's not much that I can do anyway. Now, what if the Lowlands is a lie and they put a ton of people here? I've got 13, they've got 10. So I should be fine anyway. Well, let's put a single one. Maybe 1 more here and 1 more here. Just go for broke because I think I can get them all back. All right, now here's their secret. They are putting everybody in the Lowlands. Oh, yikes. Well, it wasn't a lie. That is 5 people. And that's where their fog card that gives them a ton of bonuses if they win goes. And they also get to decide the clash order. And this one's going to be first, so no trickiness from me. No, like, flanking somebody in there to give me the win. Well, we'll see which gold it is. So we're doing this one first. Oh, that's right. That was the other guy that I thought that they got two. Didn't I kill? Oh, they got both of them. I forgot that was the other gold they had recruited. Shoot, I'm not going to win here, am I? Gosh, darn it. I forgot how strong they could be. So that's... Yeah, they've got 18 and I've got 14. I could use Prophet of the Waves to bring 2 more supporters in, but not going to because, yeah, they would still win. And I can't use Sea Lanes to flank away because he's a fist icon and it has to be Crown, Cup, or Fireball guy. Yeah, them doing this one first. That was smart. Okay, they're going to do the left location, which their version is they get 1 coin, and I have to discard 2 cards from the top of my deck and or my hand. Definitely going to do from my hand. I don't want to discard 2 cards from the top of my deck and suffer attrition early. Because then I'd suffer attrition before I discarded all my good cards. They wouldn't be in the reshuffle. That's not good. Then they're also getting 3 more influence and 3 lore from that. That's going to catch them up a good bit. And the 3 lore gets their last units, and now they'll have another secret gold on top. And they still have 1 more lore here, and how it works is how it works for players as well. Once you've cleaned out every card from here, every 2 lore gets you 1 influence, so they'll just build up influence for a while. But that's okay, that's okay. I feel like I might win the rest, maybe. Okay, that's the 10 we knew about. Yeah, and I've got 13, 14. They definitely can't win here. And clearly I'm going to the castle, so I'm going to get 1, and I'll steal 1 from them, and then 1 more from my Herald. Heck yeah. Gets me to 22. That's a lot. Okay, then I can govern with 1 card that is active or in my hand, and if I do, discard all other cards of the chosen council. All right, so I guess I'll do Leth, right? Planning to use Prophet of the Waves, move my Herald down if I win this next fight, and discard her for an extra influence, although we'll see if I win. All right, and my 10 versus, don't be... Okay, it's not the assassin, it's the person who sticks around, but we're totally winning here, 11-5. And you know what? I'm going to use my last use of Prophet of the Waves, so I lose the King's Favor, to bring my Herald down, get... Oh, actually, that's kind of dumb. I can get King's Favor with that. So yeah, actually, I'll bring my Herald down here and get 3, and discard Leth as planned to get 4. Dude, my score is just crazy this time. I'm definitely doing better at the game than I was last time. I'm kind of understanding the mechanics. This is only like my 3rd play. All right, that went great. All right, so now we go to the Autumn. I do want to govern somebody here. Oh, but crap, my only person is... Well, whatever. I'll put my 9 down. I'll just try to get them back after I do my Herald thing. And then I'll rally my leader back. Then for my 1 lore thing, I will actually discard them to get 3 lore and hire these guys. Look, they have 3, they have flank and deadly, and when they flank, they can move any number of supporters from this card to the new region. So they can just ride in and kill some people. Pretty dang cool. Oh, that's my entire hand now. Weird. Okay, and then I can do 3 of the token placement, and I can get back... I still have the lead, so I can get back 3 supporters. And my harbor will get the other 2 back in a second. So where do I want to put the 3 of these? Oh, well, that's obvious. I'll finish up this one for 1, so I do get the King's Favor. And then the other 2 can go to Necropolis, I guess. I don't know if it matters. And keep a good thing going. I'll use the Engineer's Workshop to put another coin on my deploy guy. That has been a fantastic Kingdom card, and they've never stolen it. All right, speaking of for their Autumn, they're going to lock that guy in. Their preference this turn is books. They'll put 1 coin there, which is enough for them to put a 3rd token here, but not enough to actually trigger it. They'll also get 1 Journeying Lore for free, which just turns into an influence. And we're good to go for the winner. Oh, I forgot they're getting 4 supporters back. 1 for their token on the Council of Odes, and then their regular 3. All right, I think I'm probably too far ahead. They're at 9, and I'm at 26, which might make some of you be like, oh, Mike, this game's too easy. But it actually makes me happy because I got my butt kicked in the last game, so the idea that I can get better at the game and actually use, again, these like crazy number of cards, so you can make the automa stronger or weaker with every one of them. Every single one has a easy side and a hard side. Like, look at this one. They only get 1 supporter for free every round instead of 3, or, boop, boop, they get 5 supporters for free every round instead of 3. Just a basic example of how you can customize the automa to make it tougher. Or easier if you're not getting lucky like I am right now. All right, so final draw. And I think I managed stuff really well. I'm finally going into... Wow, what the... I'm going out of 6 cards, but I've called and, like, counseled so many cards. But yeah, I'm drawing all but 1 to fill out my hand with the 3. Okay, good. I got almost all of my... Actually, I think I got all my biggest people. Yeah, the only one that's left is my 2. That was great. Good thing to have a good hand at the end of the game. I called away things that are not good for me. And let's see what their final threat is. Out of the Pall. If the automa has a bronze or silver card in the current region, they draw the top card of their deck and make it active. What the friggin' frick? That is... Jeez. Now, they do have a gold on top. Wow. What? Is that... If the automa has a bronze and or silver tier card only in the current region, they draw the top card of their deck and make it active. What the heck, man? Okay, well, hey, they might be winning a lot of ones this time. And that card is insane. It's every region. Hopefully these are all golds. I think it would actually be better, but I know they're not because I've already seen a lot of their golds. But anyway, turn order is the same. I'm going to spring. The only thing that I care about for this bidding is I hope they don't steal my monument builders because I'm about to get 3 free things since I have all the councils filled. And yeah, I really want to use, like my 3, my 10, and 11 this round. So why not just bid with my 0 and not worry about it? And they're bidding with their 8. And are they? Wow, they're still not robbing. I think there are a lot of... Oh, look at this. You can see the red bottom. Every single steel card. I just managed to miss all of them. That's crazy. All right, so they're going first. They prefer swords. So they're going to get this old king spear that would let somebody be deadly if it was a player. And left, they're replacing the coin. And then they're just getting 2 more supporters. Wow, so not only are they going to have 8 billion cards on their places, they're also going to have all the supporters ever. And then I guess I'll get this remote Bothies, is that a word? In the spring, if you have no lore in my supply, which I don't, I can gain an influence, which is going to be a victory point, sure. Because I can replace the engineer's workshop, because I don't need to make my deploy guy last long anymore. And get the 6 back to my hand, I guess that's good. I mean, the ruse is probably more useful, but whatever. Okay, now I'm putting out my heralds and my cards. This is where things are going to be crazy. They're doing Plateau, Lowlands, Highlands. So I know they're doing just a gold and a 5 here, which is, I mean, just a gold. That's going to be a lot, potentially. There are assassins in there. Yeah, who's in there, actually? Their gold could be their assassin or their ruse person, because I already saw their 10 and their 13. But I mean, in any case, they're going to have a crud ton of points. I don't really think I can beat them. I just want to have my herald somewhere good. Now, their weakest person is supposed to be in the Highlands, and I have a 5 there. So yeah, let's put my herald, I don't know, in the castle. It's probably the best I can do to be safe. Then I'll put my 10 and a 5. Like, hopefully that's enough. Then I want to be able to flank with my killer guy, and they're probably going to resolve the Highlands first. So shoot, I don't know where to put them to flank successfully. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to lose here no matter what, and that's where their second strongest card is going, which will probably also, like, get another card. Then I'll put my 11 down here, I guess. We'll see how it goes. All right, so their herald's going left plateau, okay, and then golden plateau, bronze in the Highlands, and they'll have a friend. That's not the Highlands, that's the Lowland. Oh, and another bronze, sorry, yeah. So, okay, it's double bronze, and then I see they have a silver on top. So whichever of those bronzes resolves first is also going to get a silver, and who knows what else will show up. All right, spring actions, I actually have a few. All right, I'm going to gain 1 if I have any card in the council, and then I can discard this, and I guess get them back to get an additional 2, because I'm in all the councils. And then I'll get another coin there. Okay, and then where am I not trying to win? The 3. I'm not trying to win there. So let's use my harbor to go here with like 2. I mean, I've got an extra 5 there. I think I should be fine. Then let's put 4 here and 1 up there with the doubled up cards. All right, that's it for me. All right, for them. Okay, they're splitting their units, and they are doing Highlands, Plateau, Lowlands. Okay. They've got 6 people, so 2 each. And they have their little special fog power everywhere, although it's not going to affect the plateau. All right, and the clashes is also Highland, Plateau, Lowland. So let's go. Final combat of the game. Okay, it's a 5. Oh, that's right. They get to draw the top card of their deck. And, oh, wait, I have to do my sun effects first, don't I? Crud. Do I have any, though? Oh, I could use sea lanes to flank with my 10. What are we looking at so far, though? So I've got 16, and they've got 7 and a silver on top. Although if it's an assassin, well, yeah, let's not flank and... Okay, so 13, 14, 15, 16. Whoa! That worked out. So I'll pick Castle. I'll discard Gaul for a bonus influence. So that's going to be 3 total. And then since I have Prophet of the Waves, I'll add this person to the Council of Relics to hopefully get me another influence in a second by moving my Herald down to somewhere I'm going to win. Okay, next is here, and this is where I wanted to run away, right? Oh, what the heck is this? Monolith. If this card is active in the current clash, before they perform any other sun actions, reveal a threat. Then if this region has no fog... Oh, man, we're going to have another fog effect? All right, but I have to do my sun first, and I'm definitely flanking away from here. But yeah, they get another threat. The player may not activate ambush or flank commands. Well, good thing that... Yes, before they perform their sun, so I got to do it in time. All right, but they clearly win here. They want to go... Oh, no, they steal the kingdom's favor from me. Shoot. Well, it's okay. I mean, I think it should be fine. Because it's too late for them to get another threat. Now, they are getting 2 influence here with their Herald. But that was okay. That could have gone worse. Now, here's where it probably is going to go worse. I see a silver on top of the deck. So I've got a lot. Oh, and they've got very low. But this guy's probably going to be like a murderer. It is a oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to deadly them, but I think they're still going to come away with the victory here. Because we go into the knight, they deadly anyone who doesn't have a shield. I deadly anyone who doesn't have a shield, so this guy's dead. Now, my guys do all have helmets. They would have been discarded if it was like later in the game. Which, man, they're going to win by 1. If I'd had Prophet of the Waves, I could have tied it. Because they have 3, 4, 5 versus 4. So they're doing the Shrine, making me discard cards. Well, that doesn't really matter. I'll discard 1 from my deck, and I don't know, one person doesn't have a hammer. But they are getting another influence. All right, we go to the Autumn. Honestly, there's not a ton I can do to change things. Except I'm going to govern here to get to 4 people. And then put all 4 of them on the harvest field to steal back the favor, because this is technically the tiebreaker. Now, I'm not going to need it, but, it'd be cool to have it. But they're putting theirs on the swords, which doesn't matter. They could just get more units back, but the game's going to be over. They're journeying once, which is not enough for victory points. I don't care about journeying because I can't unlock my last cards. But hey, if you want to see this last person, look at them. So they're an 11. They have flank. When you win a clash in a region where this card is active, I get a free influence. Pretty dang awesome, but they cost 5. But that's about it. Mike playing on standard difficulty and with a lot of luck came away with, oh my gosh, 33 versus 12. So I got to either change factions or boost the automa up with some of their suggested difficulty variants, because that went well. That went really well. I mean, again, I got lucky. Like, they could have, in that one round, had a worse card for my assassin and like some other things. But really, I have no complaints here. They could have robbed me. Some of their fog cards could have been worse. But yeah, that was great. So there you go, a longer playthrough, but I wanted to get through an entire play to kind of show you how things work. That was Old King Crown solo mode. And you can, by the way, apparently also play this cooperatively, where the players are still like hurting each other, like your deadlies will still kill each other, all that kind of stuff, and you're still competing over areas. But you have to cooperatively all beat the automa. So everyone needs to have a higher score than the automa or you all lose. I think it sounds pretty cool. And I will have a review of this one coming once I play it competitively a bit more, just kind of see how everything works. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and KCW. We'll see you at the next stop.